In recent years, Donald Trump has been a constant surprise to the entire world. When all seemed lost, when adversity seemed insurmountable, he not only stood firm but rose again and again, inexplicably stronger each time. For some, this is mere luck or coincidence. But as we look closer, we find signs so powerful they make us wonder, could Trump's path be marked by God? Could he be chosen? The Bible is filled with unlikely figures who were assigned sacred missions. Moses, raised in Egyptian luxury, became the liberator of an enslaved people. David, a simple shepherd, was anointed as king. And Jesus, the son of a humble carpenter, challenged and transformed the world. God has always acted in surprising ways, choosing those who, in human eyes, seemed unfit. As written in 1 Corinthians 1:27, "But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong." What if something similar is happening today? In times of chaos and uncertainty, could God once again choose someone unexpected to fulfill a divine purpose? That's why today, we'll explore the 7 possible biblical connections in Donald Trump's life. Pay close attention, as some of these connections may relate to prophecies yet to be fulfilled. In the end, you decide. Are these signs from God or mere coincidences? Share your thoughts in the comments. Trump is the 45th president of the United States, and chapter 45 of the book of Isaiah contains one of the most intriguing prophecies in the Bible. In this chapter, God speaks of Cyrus, a foreign king, calling him by name and assigning him a divine mission. Isaiah 45:1 declares, "This is what the Lord says to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I take hold of to subdue nations before him." Cyrus, also known as Cyrus the Great, was a Persian king who, against all odds, became an instrument of liberation for the people of Israel. He was not part of the chosen people, yet he was anointed by God for a monumental purpose: to free the Israelites from captivity in Babylon and allow them to return to Jerusalem to rebuild the temple. Cyrus was an unlikely leader, someone who did not deeply know God, but who was nevertheless used to impact millions of lives. What makes this connection fascinating is the parallel between Cyrus's story and Trump's journey. Like Cyrus, Trump did not come from traditional religious circles. He was a businessman, a political outsider who many thought unlikely to achieve the presidency. But like Cyrus, he also emerged at a moment of great need, defying expectations and assuming a role that perhaps surpasses his own understanding. It's not about perfection. Cyrus wasn't perfect. Trump isn't either. But what matters from a biblical perspective is not the chosen one's perfection, but the purpose for which they are used. God often works in mysterious ways, choosing the least expected to fulfill his will. And what if Trump, even unknowingly, is playing a part in a larger plan, just as Cyrus did in the past? In a decision that took the world by surprise, Trump did something no other American president had dared to do. He moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, officially recognizing the city as Israel's capital. This act, laden with symbolism, has been interpreted by many as a partial fulfillment of biblical prophecies proclaiming Jerusalem as the eternal capital of the Jewish people. In the Bible, Jerusalem is described as the spiritual center of the world. The prophets spoke repeatedly of its crucial role in God's plans. By recognizing Jerusalem as the capital, Trump not only challenged global political norms, but also aligned his actions with a biblical vision of restoration. For some, this was confirmation that he is consciously or unconsciously fulfilling a divine purpose. This move sparked controversy and criticism, but was also celebrated by many Christians and Jews who see Trump as a modern analogy to biblical leaders like Cyrus. Just as Cyrus allowed the reconstruction of the temple in Jerusalem, Trump has taken significant steps to reaffirm the city's central role in God's plans. These two connections are just the beginning of an intriguing journey. The question remains, are these events coincidences, or are they connected to something greater? As always, it's up to each of us to discern. The Bible teaches us that God works in ways we often don't understand, and that He can use even the most unlikely individuals to accomplish His will. Trump aligned U.S. policy with a movement many consider prophetic. It was not just a political statement. It was a gesture that, for many, carries profound spiritual significance. This decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital was not only historic but also resonated deeply with religious communities worldwide. Many saw it as a clear sign that Trump, knowingly or not, was participating in something greater, something with biblical implications. Much like the story of Cyrus, Trump seems to occupy a strategic position where his actions directly influence God's plans for Israel. By making decisions that appear to align with ancient prophecies, he reinforces the idea that he might be being used to fulfill a divine purpose, even without fully understanding the role he plays. This act by Trump marked a turning point in geopolitics and global spirituality. For those who believe he is an instrument in God's hands, the embassy move was a powerful confirmation. For others, it is a controversial political act. Regardless of perspective, there is no denying that the decision was a milestone in modern history, with profound echoes in both the physical and spiritual worlds. Another remarkable event that many associate with the idea of a divine purpose in Trump's life is his stance on protecting and strengthening religious freedom. During his term, he took measures that many considered an explicit defense of Christian values, including signing executive orders to protect religious freedom of expression in the United States and abroad. These actions are seen as an effort to ensure that the fundamental principles of faith can be preserved even in an increasingly secularized world. For some, this reflects a sacred mission, a commitment to preserving biblical values, and a fight against forces seeking to eradicate them. Just as Cyrus was called to free a captive people and enable the restoration of something sacred, Trump is perceived by many as a defender of a faithful remnant, a protector of a faith facing growing challenges in the modern world. This narrative gains even more strength when considering his approach to the alliance with Israel. In the Bible, God makes specific promises about those who bless Israel. In Genesis 12:3, it is written, "I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you I will curse, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." For many, Trump fits directly into this promise. His strong pro-Israel stance and concrete actions, such as recognizing Jerusalem as the capital, are seen as an extension of this blessing. Moreover, his statements in support of the global Christian community, including condemning religious persecution in various parts of the world, echo a vision of a leader who, even if not a model of traditional faith, is used by God to defend those who are faithful. Just as Cyrus acted as an unexpected liberator, Trump is seen by some as a protector of voices crying out for freedom and justice. However, like any historical figure, Trump also has his detractors. There are those who question his actions, his character, and even the validity of these biblical associations. For these critics, The parallels with biblical figures like Cyrus are forced, and Trump's decisions are merely strategic, without any spiritual connection. Yet, this opposition can also be interpreted from a biblical perspective. Throughout history, leaders chosen by God faced criticism, rejection, and even persecution. In the Bible, it is not uncommon for the chosen to be misunderstood, even by those who should support them. Either way, Trump remains a polarizing figure. For some, he is a modern example of how God can use anyone to fulfill his purpose. For others, he is just a man taking advantage of circumstances. The answer to these questions may only be found when we look at history with the clarity that time provides. Ultimately, Trump's role in modern history raises a central question. Are we living in a time when God is acting in surprising ways, as he has done so many times before? The Bible is clear in affirming that God chooses the unlikely, those who often lack credentials in human eyes but possess something more important, a willingness to fulfill the divine purpose. And what if Trump, with all his imperfections, is an example of this? While we don't have definitive answers, Trump's actions will continue to be examined through both spiritual and political lenses. After all, as the Bible teaches us, God's ways are higher than our ways. Isaiah 55:9. And his plan is often only fully understood once it has unfolded. And so, we conclude this fascinating reflection on the possible connections between Donald Trump and God's plans, based on biblical parallels that challenge our understanding and invite us to think beyond the obvious. But what do you think? Are these coincidences signs of something greater or just human interpretations? Share your thoughts in the comments. They are very important to our community. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to follow more content like this. Here, we explore themes that unite spirituality, history, and the hidden messages the Bible might reveal about current times. Turn on the notification bell so you won't miss upcoming videos. I promise. There's a lot of interesting content coming your way. Thank you for watching. May God bless your life, and see you in the next video.